I'm Mitchell Henry from Lawrence County. I farm 500 head of stocker calves, 40 head of brood cows, and we harvest our own hay and corn silage.
Originally from Montgomery County, Mitchell has taken over for his maternal grandfather at Hardin Farms in North Alabama.
Most cattlemen would be brood cow operators. While I do have some, primarily I'm buying the calves that they produce, and I'm growing them from about 500 pounds to about 800 pounds. We're trying to let them gain about 2.5 pounds a day.
In his first year, he sold just 13 calves, but by year 5, he was selling 500. Along with grazing on pasture, Mitchell feeds his cattle a ration he mixes himself. He grows and cuts his own corn silage, which he then mixes with protein and byproducts to ensure his calves gain weight at a healthy rate. Since taking over farm management in 2016, Mitchell has invested in equipment and infrastructure.
My granddad sold out of the hay business years ago, and so I'm kind of buying some equipment back. I bought a baler. This past year we built a small little feeding shed for the new cattle that we get in, and it just makes things more efficient.
In 2018, Mitchell married his college sweetheart, Rebecca, who grew up on a multi-generational farm in Madison County.
Rebecca and I met at Auburn, and when she started talking about horses and cows, that's when I realized that I probably needed to start dating her. And I was very clear at the beginning of our relationship that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and she was all for it.
While Rebecca has a full-time job as a pharmacist and pharmacy manager, she often spends her off hours working alongside Mitchell.
I enjoy going out there, being with animals and caring for them. All the land, we feel like we can breathe. And so I really enjoy that. It's stress relief, not necessarily for Mitchell maybe. He's kind of stressed out there sometimes.
Rebecca is a talented photographer. Through her Instagram account, Hardin Farm Wife, she's become a true advocate for agriculture.
Social media is where everyone is, and so I think it's really important to meet people where they are. I love being able to say, okay, our product is this. We have grass-fed, grain-finished. It's healthy for you. It's part of a healthy diet.
Add in a side hustle of selling Hardin Farm merchandise online, and there's plenty to keep the Henrys busy.
Just being outside and being able to work with your hands, it's very rewarding at the end of the day. Have no trouble falling asleep most of the time. I feel like in many ways I'm living a dream a lot of people would love to have. And so just really blessed to be a part of the Hardin and the Henry family, and just be producing these cattle.
My name is Brady Peek. I'm from Athens, Alabama. I was born here, was raised here, and hope to live and farm the rest of my life here in Limestone County. We grow corn, cotton, soybeans, and wheat, and also some sweet corn.
In 2010, Brady Peek started his farm as a teenager, growing crops on 100 acres he rented from his dad. Now, Brady farms nearly 1,800 acres of owned and rented land.
It's very exciting as well to be able to farm the same land that also my dad and my granddad, and as far as I know, some that even my great-grandparents even farmed. It's an honor to be able to continue that Peek legacy of cultivating the soil.
For the future of the farm, Brady plans to invest in more irrigation. He added grain storage in 2020 and will have another bin built this summer. In 2018, Brady married his wife, Anna. Even though the two grew up just 1.5 miles from each other, farm life was a new endeavor for her.
I've learned a lot. We have grown the operation in acres, in infrastructure, and the grain bins. It's been really cool to see Brady take on that role of the leader and doing exactly what he wants to do.
Anna teaches English language arts to 5th graders at Athens Intermediate School.
Agriculture makes the world go round, and it's just 10-year-olds don't know that. And so if I can get something in their ear, they can go home and tell their parents, and it might just start a whole little cycle where people are learning a little bit more about farming. Teaching has really good hours. I'm off in the summer. We have insurance. I think it's very beneficial, and it just kind of is another puzzle piece to the whole operation that makes everything work.
Machinery is another important piece of that puzzle at Peek Family Farms.
Equipment for me is a tool in two fronts. The tool that I can use to get a job done here on the farm, but it's also a tool that I can use to, that we use to buy, sell, and trade. And that just helps to generate cash flow, just to keep us from having funds tied up in a piece of equipment all year. It kind of drives Anna crazy sometimes because that means we can't ever go on a vacation without having to go out of the way a little bit to look at a piece of equipment here or there.
Whether it means taking a sag track during vacation or long hours in the fields, the Peeks know real success comes from working together.
We're best friends, so it's really easy to help each other, I think, and that's probably what makes farming easier, is that we are on the same page.
Just with every decision that we make, I want it to be the best decision and the right timing, and to really just make sure that everything that we do is done at the most optimal time to grow the highest yielding crops that we possibly can.
I'm Daniel Trantham from Alexandria, Alabama, and I farm corn, wheat, cotton, and soybeans, and have about 300 head of mama cows.
Since Daniel started working full-time in the 2000s, Trantham Farms has transitioned from mostly cotton acreage to corn, and there's good reason for it.
100% of the corn we produce is direct marketed to consumers through our retail and wholesale business. We deliver to different feed stores who sell it. Alongside the corn we bag, we also mix different custom feeds. We plant about 300 acres of wheat every year, and we square bale every bit of our wheat straw behind our wheat crop. And annually we've been producing 25 to 30,000 square bales a year, which also gets direct marketed sold through our retail feed business.
With increased demand for their feed, Daniel has looked to increase crop yields by adding irrigation systems. And he's constantly looking for more land, whether that means buying or renting.
That's the biggest limiting factor on our business right now, and how much we can produce is the amount of land we farm.
Trantham Farms also includes a trucking company, where Daniel's wife, Carla, is payroll manager. With a full-time job right there on the farm, she's also able to work in the retail feed store. Daniel and Carla married in 2020, and together have 5 children: Davis, Sadie, Sawyer, Anna, and Callie.
They love what we do. Davis has already started coming to work this summer on the farm, and he helps in the feed store, bag and feed. They're outside constantly. They appreciate the land.
Originally from Weaver, Carla has learned a lot about farm life the past 2 years.
The cows are probably my favorite. I want them to love me more than they do, but it's okay. I mean, I always understood they rotated the crops because I saw it, but, to know why. I mean, Daniel can tell you everything that, this crop takes this out of the soil, so next year I've got to plant this to put this back in. It's so much more than what you see just when you're driving down the road.
And while it's hard work, the knowledge that they're preserving the family farming tradition is the only reward the Tranthams need.
This can be at times a hectic job and a hectic life, long hours during harvest and planting, but we don't take each other for granted. My dad and uncle started this business decades ago, and they've been able to work through their issues and trust one another and respect each other's role in the company. And seeing that growing up is just had a huge impact on me. And I understand the value of that and the value of family as well, because this isn't just a job or a 9 to 5, this is our life, this is our livelihood, and we really appreciate and respect that.
Congratulations to all 3 outstanding young farm family finalists: the Henrys of Lawrence County, the Peeks of Limestone County, and the Tranthams of Calhoun County.